Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with a simple truth that will either ignite you or expose you. You are already a product. And the question is, are you selling yourself for pennies or are you positioning yourself for millions? The world doesn't reward the most talented. It doesn't even reward the hardest workers. You are already a product. From the moment you wake up and engage with the world, you are presenting something, an idea, a skill, a presence. Whether you realize it or not, people around you are constantly making judgments, forming opinions, and deciding the value you bring to the table. Every word you say, every action you take, every result you produce adds to or subtracts from the perception of your value. You don't get to opt out of this reality. You are already being evaluated, measured, and consciously or unconsciously positioned in the minds of others. The truth is, most people never consciously design the product that is themselves. They drift through life hoping that good intentions, hard work, or simply being nice will somehow communicate their value to the world. But the marketplace doesn't pay you for your intentions. It pays you for your outcomes. You can either let the world define your value haphazardly, or you can take control of the narrative, polish your strengths, and shape how you are perceived. Either way, you are a product. The only question is whether you're a premium product or a bargain bin item. Think about the greatest brands in the world. They are not accidents. They are not random collections of features and ideas. They are intentional, consistent, and strategic about every detail, from the colors they use to the emotions they evoke. Similarly, you have the ability to intentionally craft the experience that people have with you. You can shape the way you show up in conversations, in business, in relationships. You can decide the problems you solve, the emotions you evoke, and the transformations you create for others. Ownership of your personal brand is not vanity, it is wisdom. When you fail to own yourself as a product, you give other people permission to undervalue you. You accept low offers. You tolerate disrespect. You settle for environments that do not reflect your true worth. People do not pay based on what something costs to make. They pay based on the perceived value to them. Your skills, your insights, your life experience are priceless when positioned correctly. But if you don't own that, no one else will assign it to you by accident. Ownership is about setting the terms of your engagement with the world, rather than allowing the world to dictate them to you. Some people hear the word product and immediately think it cheapens them. They believe it strips away their humanity, their uniqueness, their soul, but nothing could be further from the truth. To productize yourself is to honor your gifts by presenting them in a way that others can recognize, appreciate, and access. A hidden treasure benefits no one. A solution kept secret serves no one. To bring your best to the marketplace, to package it with excellence, to present it with confidence, that is one of the highest forms of service you can offer. When you view yourself as a product, you begin to make different decisions. You become intentional about how you invest your time, energy, and resources. You realize that every skill you sharpen, every habit you build, every relationship you cultivate is either enhancing or diminishing the value you bring. You start thinking about scalability. How can you impact more people, solve bigger problems, create deeper transformations? You begin to think beyond surviving and start strategizing for thriving. You move from being reactive to being proactive about your destiny. Owning yourself as a product also requires radical honesty. You have to evaluate what you're offering to the world. You have to ask hard questions. Are you delivering excellence? Are you solving meaningful problems? Are you positioning yourself in front of the right audience? A product without a market is just a hobby. Similarly, skills without direction, talent without discipline, passion without packaging, these are wasted assets. Radical honesty helps you refine yourself, cut away what no longer serves, and double down on what makes you indispensable. The most powerful products in the world do not appeal to everyone, and neither should you. When you truly own yourself as a product, you stop trying to please everyone. You stop diluting your power to fit into rooms where you were never meant to shrink. You start standing boldly in your unique value, knowing that the right people, the right clients, the right opportunities are magnetized to clarity, not confusion. When you own your space, you create gravity, you stop chasing and start attracting. The marketplace respects clarity and confidence. When you stand tall in what you offer, you give people certainty. And certainty is what people pay for. They want to know that you are the solution to their problem, that you are the bridge to the future they desire. They want to feel trust, belief, assurance. And all of that begins with how you see and present yourself. The more you own your value, the easier it becomes for others to recognize it and invest in it without hesitation. At every level of life, you will either be sold as a commodity or positioned as a necessity. Commodities are easily replaced, price shopped, and undervalued. Necessities are fought over, respected, and rewarded. That distinction is not made by others. It is made by you. It is made in how you think about yourself, how you invest in yourself, and how you position yourself in the marketplace. When you truly understand that you are already a product, the only thing left to do is take full ownership of the masterpiece you were designed to be. Would you like me to continue and expand this even more if you need it for a longer keynote or workshop version? Talent is a blessing, but talent alone is not enough. The world is full of talented people who are broke, frustrated, and overlooked. Talent is everywhere, but recognition, influence, and wealth are reserved for those who know how to package their talent in a way the marketplace can understand and appreciate. Talent without packaging is like a diamond buried under dirt. Valuable. It's not the raw stone that gets paid. It's the cut, polished, and beautifully presented gem that demands top dollar. In every industry, from entertainment to business to education, you will find examples of people who are not necessarily the most talented, but are certainly the best packaged. They know how to frame their value, how to tell their story, how to present themselves in a way that makes the marketplace lean in and pay attention. They aren't hiding behind their skills, waiting for someone to notice them. They are showcasing their skills, wrapping them in powerful messaging, and making it easy for people to say yes to what they offer. Packaging is about perception. It's about controlling the narrative around who you are and what you bring to the table. The difference between a bottle of tap water and a bottle of luxury spring water isn't the basic ingredient. It's the packaging, the branding, the story. The same principle applies to you. You must ask yourself, how am I presenting my value? How am I framing my skills, my experiences, my results? If you don't intentionally package yourself, the marketplace will assume you have nothing special to offer. There is no prize for being the best kept secret. In fact, being the best kept secret is a curse. The marketplace rewards visibility. It rewards boldness. It rewards clarity. When you package yourself well, you make it easier for people to recognize the transformation you can create for them. You remove confusion. You eliminate doubt. You make your value tangible, accessible, and compelling. Without strong packaging, even the greatest talents will be misunderstood, misjudged, or ignored. Good packaging tells a story before you even open your mouth. It creates an experience around you. It signals to people how seriously they should take you. It communicates your standards, your attention to detail, your confidence in what you bring. If your presentation is sloppy, vague, or inconsistent, people will assume your results are the same. But when your packaging is sharp, intentional, and strategic, people associate you with excellence before they even experience your full capability. One of the greatest advantages of packaging is positioning. When you package yourself correctly, you elevate your position in the market without needing to fight for it. You move from competing on price to competing on value. You stop being one of many and start becoming one of one. You differentiate yourself not just by what you can do, but by how you present it, how you frame it, and how you command attention and respect. Packaging lets you choose your playing field rather than settling for what's given to you. Packaging is also an act of service. When you package your talent well, you make it easier for people to find the help they need. You remove the friction between someone's problem and your solution. Clear packaging creates quick decisions. People don't want to work hard to figure out what you do or how you can help them. They want it presented clearly, confidently, and immediately. When you package yourself well, you are serving your audience by making it easy for them to choose transformation. There is a direct connection between your packaging and your pricing. People pay based on perceived value, not objective reality. If your packaging elevates the perception of what you offer, your pricing can reflect that elevation. People don't question premium prices when they experience premium packaging. They expect it. They associate presentation with delivery. Strong packaging allows you to command the kind of prices that match the true worth of your results, rather than settling for what people are willing to offer by default. Even the most extraordinary talents can go unnoticed without packaging. History is full of musicians who played in subways for pennies and entrepreneurs who failed because they couldn't present their solution clearly. It's not fair, but it's real. The good news is that packaging is a skill that can be learned, practiced, and mastered. It is within your control. You don't have to stay stuck at the mercy of others' recognition. You can shape your image, refine your message, and reposition yourself at any time you choose. The marketplace doesn't reward the hidden genius, it rewards the visible solution. It rewards those who understand that talent is the foundation, but packaging is the amplifier. It's not about becoming someone you're not. It's about presenting who you already are in a way that highlights your best, clarifies your value, and invites others to engage with what you have to offer. Talent gets you in the game, but packaging gets you paid, promoted, and positioned for the levels you are designed to reach. Most people are trapped in a cycle where they rent out their skills for a paycheck, a freelance fee, or a temporary contract. They exchange hours for dollars, task after task, hoping that more work will eventually lead to more money. But renting your skills, no matter how much you charge per hour, keeps you locked into a system where your income is limited by your time and energy. You only get paid when you show up. You only eat what you hunt today. And no matter how talented you are, as long as you're renting your skills, you're one sickness, one accident, or one bad economy away from starting all over again. When you rent your skills, you are always chasing the next client, chasing the next opportunity, chasing the next check. You are on a treadmill. And the faster you run, the more tired you get, but you never actually move forward. You might even make good money for a while, but you will always be vulnerable. You are trading the infinite value of your gifts for finite compensation. You are allowing others to define your worth by how many hours you can produce, instead of building systems that produce for you. Productizing your skills is the way to break free from the trap of rented labor. When you productize, you transform your knowledge, experience, and results into something that can be packaged, sold, and scaled without your constant presence. You stop working for the money and start creating vehicles that work for you. A productized version of your skills could be a course, a workshop, a coaching program, a digital product, a licensing system, or anything that captures your expertise and delivers it in a repeatable, scalable format. The power of productizing your skills is that it separates your income from your time. It allows you to serve 1, 10, 100, or 1,000 people at once without having to multiply your hours. It allows you to create once and sell many times. It allows you to build assets, real assets that have value whether you are in the room or not. Wealth is not built by how many hours you can work. Wealth is built by how many problems you can solve while you sleep. When you rent your skills, you are always under pressure to perform. Every month, every project, every client becomes a new negotiation for your survival. There is no compound effect. There is no leverage. You might get more skilled over time, but unless you productize, you will keep starting at zero every time the project ends. Productizing flips the equation. It means every bit of work you do today builds momentum for tomorrow. It means your effort becomes an investment, not an expense. Many people don't realize that renting their skills is actually a form of dependency. They are dependent on someone else's budget, someone else's project timeline, someone else's approval to get paid. Dependency is dangerous because it puts your future in the hands of forces you cannot control. Productizing your skills gives you independence. It puts the control back in your hands. It allows you to choose your clients, set your prices, scale your offers, and ultimately build the kind of life you actually want to live. The moment you begin to productize, you start thinking differently. You stop asking, how can I get paid for this hour? And you start asking, how can I create something that keeps paying me forever? You start designing offers that have structure, frameworks, and outcomes. You start documenting your processes instead of keeping them trapped inside your head. You start building intellectual property instead of just delivering tasks. You start thinking like a creator, not just a laborer. Productizing your skills also multiplies your impact. When you rent yourself out, you can only help a limited number of people at a time. But when you create products based on your skills, you can reach hundreds, thousands, even millions. Your knowledge can travel places you have never been. Your solutions can touch lives you have never met. Instead of trading one to one, you begin trading one to many. Your ripple effect grows bigger, and so does your influence. Some people hesitate to productize because they think they aren't ready or they aren't an expert yet. But expertise is not about knowing everything. It's about knowing more than the person you are helping. If you can get someone from point A to point B faster, easier, or better, you have something valuable to offer. The key is not to wait until you feel perfect. The key is to start packaging what you already know, refining it as you go, and scaling your solutions over time. The choice is simple but powerful. Continue renting your life away 1 hour at a time, or start building something that grows even when you don't. Renting your skills keeps you stuck in survival mode. Productizing your skills shifts you into creation mode. It builds a foundation for freedom, for wealth, for lasting impact. It turns your knowledge into leverage and your experience into an empire. Every experience you've lived through, every challenge you've faced, every skill you've developed has the potential to become a valuable asset. The problem is most people underestimate the worth of their own journey. They think because it's familiar to them, it's not valuable to others. But the truth is, your life experience holds answers, solutions, and inspiration for people who are currently walking through battles you've already won. What you survived, what you mastered, and what you've built can be transformed into something that others will pay for, learn from, and grow through. Too often, people chase shiny new skills and certifications, believing they need more official qualifications before they can offer value. But the most powerful form of expertise is lived experience. No textbook, no seminar, no workshop can replace the authority of someone who has been through it, figured it out, and can now show others the way. Your scars are not just reminders of what you went through. They are credentials, proof that you have insights worth sharing, frameworks worth teaching, and wisdom worth monetizing. Turning your life experience into tangible value starts with perspective. You have to recognize that your story is not random. It is a library of lessons, a blueprint of resilience, a guidebook for others who need a path forward. The moments you thought would break you, the seasons where you learned how to rebuild, the victories you earned, they are not just for you. They are deposits you can withdraw to help others reach their own success faster, stronger, and more efficiently. Corporate schools, packaging your experience into value means taking the raw material of your journey and organizing it into products, services, and solutions that solve real problems. Maybe it's writing a book, launching a coaching program, designing a workshop, or creating a mentorship community. It's not enough to just tell your story for inspiration. You must extract the frameworks, the step-by-step processes, and the transferable lessons that others can use in practical, measurable ways. Inspiration is good, but transformation is what the marketplace rewards. Many people hold back because they think their story isn't dramatic enough. They compare themselves to others who have survived extreme circumstances or achieved outrageous success. But the truth is, you don't have to have lived through tragedy to offer value. Sometimes Surviving an ordinary struggle with extraordinary wisdom is exactly what the world needs. There are millions of people out there who would pay to learn how to overcome the very thing you figured out quietly, without headlines, without drama. Tangible value is created when you connect your experience to a problem people urgently want to solve. Maybe you figured out how to get out of debt, how to lose weight after years of trying, how to navigate a career change, how to build confidence after failure, or how to grow a business from nothing. These are problems people are actively searching for solutions to right now. When you package your experience into a system that addresses these needs, you move from being someone with a story to someone with a strategy. The experience also gives you a unique voice. No one else has lived your exact life. No one else has seen through your exact eyes. This is your advantage. It means you don't have to compete by being the loudest or the flashiest. You can compete by being the realist. Authenticity is a currency in a marketplace saturated with copycats and surface level noise. When you show up with your real lessons, real scars, and real victories, you stand out effortlessly and attract the people you were meant to serve. Turning your life experience into tangible value requires intentional reflection. You must sit down and mine your past for the gold. You must ask yourself, what patterns have I seen? What lessons have I learned? What strategies did I develop? What shortcuts did I discover? What pain points did I overcome? Out of these reflections, you begin to build the frameworks and offerings that others can engage with, pay for, and benefit from. You move from being a consumer of life to a creator of solutions. It's important to understand that people don't just buy information, they buy certainty. They want to know that if they trust you, follow you, invest in you, they will get results. Your lived experience provides that certainty. It says, I've walked this path. I know where the pitfalls are. I know how to help you avoid unnecessary pain. That certainty is what allows you to create high-value offers, command premium prices, and build loyal communities around your expertise. When you embrace the idea that your life experience is a valuable resource, you stop discounting yourself. You stop waiting for someone to validate you. You stop hesitating to build, launch, create, and serve. You realize that every tear, every triumph, every twist in your journey was an investment in the future impact you are now positioned to make. And the more you intentionally package and deliver that value to the world, the more lives you change, including your own. Too many people stay stuck, struggling because they focus on selling services instead of building offers. A service is just a skill you provide. An offer is a complete solution you deliver. When you sell a service, you are basically offering labor, an isolated task or expertise that a client hires you to perform. But when you build an offer, you are selling an outcome. You are promising a transformation, solving a bigger problem, and creating a package that is perceived as exponentially more valuable than a simple service. When you market yourself as a service provider, you often find yourself competing on price. People will pit you against others who can offer the same service a little faster or a little cheaper. It becomes a race to the bottom where the only differentiator is who will accept the least amount of money. But when you have an offer, a clearly articulated outcome, bundled with tools, support, bonuses, and frameworks, you move into a different category. You create your own lane where value, not price, is the main focus. Building offers forces you to think bigger about the customer journey. Instead of just delivering what was asked, you start thinking, what does this person really need to succeed? You ask better questions. You map out the steps from problem to solution. You add components that accelerate results, deepen understanding, and enhance the overall experience. An offer could include your service, but it's surrounded by strategy sessions, resources, support mechanisms, and unique frameworks that elevate the entire transaction. An offer has structure. It has components that work together intentionally. It's not just 1 hour of consulting or one website design or one coaching session. It's a roadmap to a result, and every piece of it has a purpose. Offers often bundle together deliverables, timelines, guarantees, and value adds that make the client feel not just like they are buying your time, but that they are securing a guaranteed improvement in their life, business, health, or relationship. When you create an offer, you make it easier for people to say yes. Services require explanation. Offers require invitation. A service makes the buyer wonder, will this work for me? An offer shows them exactly how it will work, what the outcome will be, what they will receive, and why it's worth it. Offers remove ambiguity. They replace hesitation with confidence. People buy faster and invest more when they are clear about the return on their investment. A powerful offer speaks to a specific problem and promises a specific outcome. Vague services leave buyers uncertain. Specific offers create urgency. Instead of saying, I do social media management, you say, I help local businesses increase their Instagram engagement by 300% in 90 days with a customized content and growth strategy. Notice how much more tangible, desirable, and valuable the second version sounds. Offers aren't about doing more work. They are about defining the result in a way that attracts the right clients who are willing to pay for that specific transformation. Another reason offers are so powerful is that they create scalability. If you only sell services, you have to customize everything for every client. You constantly reinvent the wheel. But if you build offers, you can create systems, templates, and repeatable processes around them. Offers allow you to standardize your excellence. You can hire team members, license your process, automate parts of delivery, and grow without burning yourself out trying to fulfill every project manually from scratch. Offers also allow you to tell a bigger story about your brand and your mission. You can design signature offers that position you as the go-to authority in your niche. You can create ascension ladders where clients graduate from one offer to the next, deepening their relationship with you and investing more over time. Offers allow you to build ecosystems, not just transactions. They allow you to create movements, not just moments. A strong offer becomes the core of your brand identity. And when you build offers instead of just selling services, you also protect your own energy and focus. You stop saying yes to random projects that drain you or pull you off mission. You have clear packages, clear pricing, and clear boundaries. You set the rules of engagement. Clients either fit into your offer or they don't, and that's a good thing. Offers empower you to be selective, to work only with those who are a true match for your expertise, and to deliver maximum value without sacrificing your peace. Building offers is an act of leadership. It's the difference between being a hired hand and being a trusted guide. It's the shift from being seen as a replaceable commodity to being seen as an indispensable asset. When you build offers, you stop asking for work and start commanding opportunities. You step into the role of the expert, the architect of transformation, and you build a business model that honors your value, serves your clients deeply, and positions you for sustainable, scalable success. Everything begins with belief. Before anyone else will believe in your offer, your message, your solution, or your product, you must believe in yourself first. The root of all successful selling is a deep, unwavering conviction that what you bring to the table is worthy, needed, and transformative. Without that internal certainty, every pitch sounds shaky, every conversation feels forced, and every offer seems overpriced. When you truly believe you are valuable enough to sell, it changes your energy, your communication, and your entire presence. Most people don't struggle to sell because they lack skill. They struggle because they lack self-belief. They carry secret doubts. Doubts about whether they are good enough, smart enough, qualified enough, or experienced enough. Those doubts bleed into every email, every webinar, every sales call. Even when they are technically saying the right words, their energy is asking for permission instead of commanding attention. Belief is not just a mindset exercise. It is the foundation of how the market perceives you. Believe that you are valuable enough to sell means understanding that your experiences, your insights, your skills, and your perspective are solutions to someone else's problems. It means recognizing that there are people right now struggling with issues you already know how to solve. They don't need perfection, they need progress. They don't need a superhero, they need a guide who knows the terrain. Your value isn't in being flawless. Your value is in being able to help someone move forward faster, easier, or with less pain than they could on their own. When you doubt your value, you self-sabotage opportunities without even realizing it. You underprice your offers, you over-explain your services, you hesitate to ask for the sale, you talk people out of working with you because you haven't fully sold yourself first. Selling becomes awkward instead of natural because deep down, you are trying to convince yourself while trying to convince them. But when you are convinced, when you know you are valuable, selling becomes an act of service, not an act of desperation. Believing you are valuable enough to sell is not about arrogance, it's about responsibility. If you have something that can solve a problem, improve a life, or accelerate a result, it is your duty to put it in front of the people who need it. Hiding your gifts behind fear is not humility, it is selfishness. There are people suffering right now because the right solution hasn't reached them yet. Your belief is the bridge between their pain and their breakthrough. Every time you show up with confidence, you are opening the door for transformation. You cannot outsource your self-belief. No marketing team, no branding expert, no copywriter can fix a lack of confidence in your own value. They can help amplify what you believe, but they cannot manufacture it for you. You have to do the inner work. You have to remind yourself daily of the problems you've solved, the lives you've impacted, the results you've helped create. You have to root your confidence not just in who you are, but in the difference you make. Proof fuels belief, and belief fuels action. Part of believing you are valuable enough to sell means refusing to compare yourself to everyone else in the market. It means rejecting the idea that there's no room for you because others are already succeeding. Scarcity mindset will keep you trapped in fear. The truth is, there are more problems than there are solutions. There is more demand than there is supply. There are people who are uniquely wired to hear your voice, resonate with your story, and respond to your methods. Your job is not to dominate the market, it's to find and serve your people. Belief also requires discipline. Confidence is not something you feel your way into, it's something you build through action. Every time you make an offer, even if you're scared, you strengthen your belief. Every time you show up when you want to hide, you reinforce your worth. Action produces evidence, and evidence reinforces identity. Waiting to feel ready will keep you stuck. Moving forward, even when you're nervous, builds the muscle of self-belief, one bold step at a time. Believing that you are valuable enough to sell also means giving yourself permission to evolve. You don't have to have it all figured out to start. You don't have to wait until you have the perfect brand or the biggest platform. Growth happens in motion. As you sell, you learn. As you serve, you sharpen. As you engage, you elevate. Self-belief doesn't mean thinking you've arrived. It means trusting that who you are right now is enough to make a meaningful difference while you continue to grow. The marketplace rewards conviction. People are drawn to certainty. They want to buy from people who believe deeply in what they are offering. They want to invest in leaders who exude confidence, not because they are pretending, but because they are standing in the truth of their own value. When you fully believe that you are valuable enough to sell, you shift from asking for sales to attracting them. You shift from hoping people will buy to expecting them to buy. You stop chasing validation and start creating undeniable value. The key to attracting wealth is not by chasing money, but by solving problems. The marketplace is filled with people who are looking for solutions. And the beauty of business is that if you can provide the answers to their pain points, money will naturally flow to you. When you focus on solving real problems, you stop worrying about money because it becomes a byproduct of your efforts. Too many people get distracted by the illusion of chasing profits without ever stopping to ask, what real problem can I solve? The solution to your financial freedom lies in your ability to provide answers to the struggles of others. Money is a tool, and like any tool, it works best when it is used to build something valuable. The more valuable the solution you offer, the more money will be drawn to it. Every dollar that exchanges hands is a reflection of value created. The more value you create, the more money will follow, because people are willing to pay for solutions that make their lives better, easier, or more successful. And here's the truth. The biggest problems often come with the biggest rewards. Solving complex, persistent problems commands greater value than solving simple, one-time issues. Most people struggle financially not because they don't work hard enough, but because they don't focus on solving problems at the level where real value exists. They create products or offer services that are nice to have, but not necessary. They get stuck in selling features instead of focusing on results. Money chases solutions, not products. It chases outcomes, not activity. When you begin to focus on providing tangible, life-changing solutions for real problems, the money follows naturally, often in amounts far greater than you expected. The first step to solving real problems is identifying what those problems actually are. This requires you to deeply understand the needs, desires, and pain points of your target audience. It's not about making assumptions based on what you think they need. It's about listening, researching, and being willing to hear the real challenges they face. The more specific and urgent the problem you solve, the more people are willing to pay for it. It's important to go beyond surface level issues and dig into the core struggles people face. Once you've identified the problem, you need to craft a solution that truly addresses it. This solution must be clear, effective, and result-oriented. People are paying for results, not processes. If you can demonstrate that your solution consistently delivers what people want, whether it's more time, better health, greater success, or relief from stress, you've tapped into a profitable market. And the more unique and specialized your solution is, the more you stand out as the go-to person for that problem. Money doesn't follow just anyone. It follows those who have proven to be indispensable to others. Real problems are rarely solved by generic solutions. The more specific and tailored your solution is to the exact pain points of your target market, the more you create a high-value proposition. If you offer a one-size-fits-all product or service, it might help some, but it won't resonate deeply with the people who need it the most. Money chases specificity. The more niche your solution is, the more attention it will attract, and the more willing people will be to invest in it because they know it's designed specifically for their needs. People will also pay more for a solution they perceive to be transformational rather than transactional. If you can show that your solution changes lives or moves people closer to their ultimate goals, you position yourself as a high-ticket option in the marketplace. Your offer doesn't just fix something small, it fundamentally shifts the way people live, work, or think. The deeper the transformation, the more people are willing to invest in making it happen. Solving real problems requires persistence. Most solutions don't arrive on the first try. You have to be willing to continuously iterate, test, and refine your offerings until they truly address the needs of your audience. There's a difference between a quick fix and a lasting solution. People who are successful at solving real problems are always learning, always evolving, and always improving their products or services to stay ahead of their audience's needs. This requires commitment and resilience, but the payoff is worth it. The more you solve problems, the more money will chase you. Another key element is the ability to scale your solutions. One of the reasons money chases those who solve real problems is because they figure out how to reach more people with their solutions, whether it's through automation, delegation, or expanding your reach via platforms like the internet. The ability to scale your solution exponentially increases the impact and consequently the income that comes with it. When you scale a solution that solves a significant problem, you tap into a larger market and capture a bigger share of the revenue associated with that problem. Finally, solving real problems requires understanding the value of your time. As you continue to refine and deliver solutions, you need to shift from working in your business to working on your business. The most successful problem solvers build systems that allow their solutions to work even when they're not physically present. This could mean creating online courses, automated marketing funnels, or hiring a team to help implement your solution. As your systems grow, so does the money that flows to you. It's not just about solving problems one at a time anymore. It's about creating a scalable business that multiplies your efforts. So the most significant obstacle to your financial freedom and success is not lack of opportunity or resources. It's waiting for permission. Too many people spend their lives waiting for someone else to validate their ideas, to give them a chance, to tell them it's time to go after their dreams. But the truth is, permission doesn't come from external sources. It comes from within. If you are waiting for someone to tell you it's okay to monetize your skills, talents, or expertise, you are only delaying your own success. The only permission you need is the one you give yourself. We often assume that in order to monetize our greatness, we need to have a certain degree of recognition or approval. We believe we need to be discovered by the right people or approved by the gatekeepers in our industry. But the reality is that all the validation you need is already within you. The value you bring to the world is not dependent on someone else's opinion. It's intrinsic to who you are and what you can do. The moment you recognize this, everything changes. You stop waiting for permission and start creating opportunities for yourself. And there's a false narrative that says you must be perfect or have a polished product before you can start earning money. But perfection is an illusion. The marketplace rewards action, not perfection. People don't expect you to have everything figured out from the start. They expect you to be in motion, learning and improving as you go. Waiting for everything to be flawless before you start is simply a form of procrastination. Monetizing your greatness doesn't require you to have all the answers. It requires you to have the courage to take the first step and the commitment to keep going. Monetizing your greatness is about recognizing that you already have something valuable to offer. It's about understanding that your unique experiences, perspectives, and skills have the potential to solve problems, create value, and make a difference in the lives of others. The sooner you realize that your greatness doesn't require permission to be shared, the sooner you can step into your full potential. People are already looking for solutions to their problems, and you have the ability to provide those solutions. All you need to do is step up and deliver. You don't need anyone's permission to start. What you need is the courage to act. Most of us are waiting for external signs, for that moment of certainty to take the leap. But the truth is that moment may never come. There will always be doubts, always be fears, and always be reasons not to start. The key is to begin despite those doubts. The first step is often the hardest, but once you take it, you'll find that the path becomes clearer and the rewards follow. The idea that you need someone to give you permission to monetize your greatness is rooted in a scarcity mindset. It assumes that opportunities are limited and that you are dependent on others for success. In reality, opportunities are abundant and your greatness is unique. When you step into the belief that there's more than enough room for your success and that the world needs what you have to offer, you begin to realize that waiting for permission is unnecessary. The world will create space for you once you step forward with confidence. Monetizing your greatness also requires you to shift your mindset from I can't to I'm capable. It's easy to look at others who are successful and think that they have something you don't. But the truth is, they've just taken the leap. They've decided to monetize their talents, even if they didn't have everything figured out. The difference between them and those still waiting is that they've made a decision. They've chosen to believe in their worth and act on it. You have the same ability to do this, but it all starts with a decision to stop waiting for permission and start taking ownership of your future. When you stop waiting for permission, you also stop relying on external factors for your success. Too often, people are stuck in the cycle of looking for external approval before they make moves. They wait for the perfect moment, for the right person to recognize their value, or for the market to demand what they offer. But success doesn't come from waiting. It comes from showing up, putting in the work, and continuously finding ways to serve. When you stop waiting for external permission, you start creating the opportunities you need to succeed on your terms. The beauty of monetizing your greatness is that it's not tied to anyone's timeline but your own. You set the pace, the rules, and the structure of your business. You get to decide how you package your skills, how you market your value, and how you serve your clients. The moment you stop waiting for validation is the moment you take full control of your destiny. No longer will you rely on others to dictate your worth or your future. You will be the one who defines what success looks like for you. Too many people hold back, afraid that their greatness isn't enough, that it's not worth monetizing. They tell themselves that they need more experience, more knowledge, or more credentials. But the truth is, your greatness is already enough. You don't need anyone else's permission to share it with the world. You simply need to believe in your ability to create value and take the bold step of monetizing it. The world is waiting for what you have to offer. All you need to do is step into that truth and take action. In today's world, too many people still view their work as something that's solely tied to employment. They trade hours for dollars, believing that the only way to succeed is by staying in the employee mindset. But this mindset limits you to earning only based on the time and energy you can personally invest. True wealth comes when you break free from this model and start thinking about productizing your skills, knowledge, and services. Productizing isn't about building something to sell once. It's about creating something that works for you even when you're not actively working. It's about building ownership and creating a system that generates income on its own. When you productize for ownership, you make the shift from being a worker to being a creator and owner. Instead of being reliant on someone else's business or a paycheck that depends on hours worked, you build something of your own. You are no longer trading your time for money. Instead, you're creating a system that can run without you. This shift gives you freedom, the freedom to scale, the freedom to make money while you sleep, and the freedom to control your future. It's the path to real financial independence. The traditional employment model is built on the assumption that your value is tied to your time. But this is a flawed assumption. The true value you offer isn't based on the hours you put in, but on the problems you solve and the results you deliver. When you shift to productizing your expertise, you stop focusing on hourly wages and start focusing on value creation. You're no longer limited by a fixed amount of time. Instead, your earning potential is only limited by the number of people you can reach and the systems you create to serve them. Productizing allows you to take your knowledge, skills, and services and package them in a way that can serve a larger audience. It's about creating assets that generate income on an ongoing basis. Instead of trading your labor for money, you create digital products, courses, coaching programs, or subscription services that people can access and buy over and over again. These products can scale in a way that's not possible with a traditional job. You aren't limited by the number of hours in a day. You are multiplying your value exponentially. Yes. The beauty of productizing is that it puts the power in your hands. You take control of your income and the way you earn money. When you productize, you own the system that brings in revenue. You are not reliant on a boss or an employer to decide your pay. Instead, you are the decision maker. The more you refine and optimize your product, the more income it generates, even when you're not actively working on it. It's a shift from dependency to autonomy, from being an employee to being an entrepreneur and creator. When you productize for ownership, you're also building an asset that can be sold or passed on. A traditional job doesn't give you that kind of leverage. If you leave your job, the income stops. But if you build products, you create an asset that can keep making money long after you've moved on to something else. You can sell the product, license it, or expand it into a larger business. The opportunities for growth and financial freedom are endless. When you own your products, you control your destiny. A key advantage of productizing is that it allows you to serve more people without increasing your workload. If you're offering a service, each new client means more time and energy spent on delivery. But when you create a product, that product can serve thousands, even millions, with minimal effort on your part. For example, an online course you create once can be sold over and over again without you having to do anything more than promote it. The leverage this creates is what allows you to scale your income without having to trade more hours for more money. Productizing also gives you the opportunity to work with clients you might otherwise not be able to serve. By packaging your knowledge into a product, you remove the barriers of one-on-one interactions and the limitations of time. A course or digital product allows you to reach people around the world regardless of location. This global reach not only expands your impact, but also expands your earning potential. You're no longer limited by geography or by how many clients you can work with in a given week. The challenge for many people is that they get stuck in the mindset of, I can only make money if I'm working with clients one-on-one. But this is a limiting belief. The truth is, there is infinite potential in productizing your skills. You have a unique set of experiences and expertise that can solve real problems. When you package that knowledge in a way that's scalable, you create a powerful tool that works for you day and night. Productizing doesn't just increase your income. It builds a system that allows your value to reach a much larger audience without you doing all the work. The shift from employment to ownership through productization is not just a financial shift, it's a mental one. It's about seeing yourself as an entrepreneur, as someone who creates value on a grand scale. It's about shifting from a mindset of limitation, where you believe your income is tied to your time, to one of abundance, where you see endless possibilities for creating value and building assets that continue to generate wealth. When you start thinking in terms of ownership and productization, you move beyond being a cog in someone else's machine and become the architect of your own success. Too many people spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment to take action, but the perfect moment never comes. Success in business isn't about waiting for the stars to align. It's about making a decision and taking immediate action. The moment you decide to move forward is the moment you begin to step into your success. Everything you need is already inside of you, waiting for you to take the leap. Your business won't grow until you decide to package your expertise, price it appropriately, present it with confidence, and take bold action to make it known. Your prosperity begins with your decision today. The first critical step is to decide, make the firm commitment that you're going to move forward, that you're going to create something of value and share it with the world. Too many people hold themselves back by overthinking and doubting themselves. They wait for external validation or signs that everything is ready, but in reality, the best time to act is now. The decision to take action is the key that unlocks your potential. Once you make the decision, everything else falls into place. The journey starts the moment you say, I will do this no matter what. Once you've made that decision, the next step is to package your expertise into something tangible. Whether you're offering a product, a service, or a combination of both, packaging your skills and knowledge is essential. People won't buy your services if they don't know what you offer, how it works, or why it matters. Packaging makes your value clear, easy to understand, and accessible. You need to take what's in your mind and transform it into something concrete that others can see, feel, and touch. Whether it's a course, a coaching program, or a product, you must present it in a way that makes people want it and shows them the transformation they will experience. Packaging is not just about making your offer look pretty, it's about communicating the value and results that come with it. When you create your package, you must think from the perspective of your audience. What do they need? What problem are they trying to solve? How can you help them achieve a better outcome? The package should reflect the transformation, not just the feature. If you're offering a coaching program, don't just list the sessions. Highlight the results they'll get, the challenges they'll overcome, and the skills they'll gain. This is the essence of effective packaging. It's about making your offer irresistible. Next comes pricing. This is often where many entrepreneurs get stuck. They worry about overpricing, underpricing, or whether their offer is worth what they want to charge. The truth is, your price isn't just about the cost of your time or the value of your content. It's about how much the transformation is worth to your audience. The price should reflect the value you're providing. And you need to have confidence in the worth of your offer. If you believe that your product or service will change lives, then don't be afraid to charge what it's truly worth. People will invest in results. And if they perceive the value is high, they will be willing to pay for it. Setting your price can also be a mindset shift. Many people fear pricing themselves too high because they're afraid no one will buy. But in reality, people are more likely to see high prices as an indication of high value. You are offering a transformation, not just a transaction. So price accordingly. Don't undervalue yourself just to make a sale. If you price too low, you risk being perceived as less valuable. Price your offer in a way that reflects its true worth and aligns with the results you're delivering. Once your offer is packaged and priced, the next step is to present it to the world. Presentation is key. How you communicate your value makes all the difference. Whether you're launching a new product, promoting a service, or offering a course, your presentation must resonate with your audience. You need to convey the benefits and the transformation in a way that makes them want to take action. Presentation is not just about marketing. It's about telling your story in a compelling way. You need to help your audience understand how your offer will solve their problems and improve their lives. The way you present your offer determines whether people will trust you and take you seriously. Are you clear about what your offer is and how it will benefit your audience? Does your presentation exude confidence and expertise? A well-presented offer communicates that you believe in what you're selling. When people feel your confidence and clarity, they are more likely to trust you and take the leap to invest in themselves through your offer. Presentation is not just a sales tool. It's a demonstration of your belief in the value you're offering. After packaging, pricing, and presenting, you need to act on your decision and take consistent steps to promote your offer. You cannot sit back and wait for people to find you. You must proactively put your offer out there and make it known. Marketing is an ongoing effort, but the key is to do it with purpose and intention. Show up consistently, provide value, share your story, engage with your audience, and don't be afraid to remind people of the solution you have to offer. Prosperity comes from persistence and from taking bold, consistent actions to make your offer visible to those who need it most. The combination of decision, packaging, pricing, and presentation creates a powerful cycle of success. Once you've taken these steps, you are ready to move forward, knowing that you've done everything possible to position yourself for prosperity. Success doesn't come from waiting for the right moment or from relying on chance. It comes from taking purposeful action, making bold decisions, and presenting your value to the world with confidence. The key to prosperity lies in your willingness to decide today. Package your brilliance, price it with conviction, present it with clarity, and take the consistent steps needed to make it a reality.